a loose ball in the penalty area. Mwafa was on target again in the 68th minute after a brilliant interplay between Victor Moses and Ahmed Musa, who crossed the ball for the ex-Flying Eagle to slot home into an empty net. The last time the two sides met was in the same contest in 2004 when Bafana Bafana beat the Super Eagles 2-1.
So the ball comes out from wide. Slow to react and not follow players. Does well eventually. As the back heel it over, has a good presence of mind to back heel it.
That is a fast bit of thinking from Mwafa, and well, he's only played once before for Nigeria, and what an impact he has made. Coming on here for Shola Ameobi at half-time, he's taken just 3 minutes to put Nigeria in the lead. It was a bit of scrappy defending from South Africa. Berman gets the challenge in. Now Ambrose. Moses. Delightful ball for Musa. Musa, oh, that's fantastic football. Mwafa with his second of the night, and they just carve open the South African defence.
And in club football, the Nigeria Football Federation and host city, Lagos, have agreed to hold the final of this year's Men and Women's Federations Cup competitions on Sunday, September the 15th. NFF's Director of Competitions, Mohamed Sanusi, said a trophy tour to selected media houses, including Channels Television, designed to acquaint the fans with the event, will take place days before the event. Sanusi also revealed that the women's final will start at 1:30 p.m., while the men's final kicks off at 4 p.m. The semi-final matches will take place on Wednesday, August the 21st. And in the domestic league, Kano Pillars extended their lead at the top of the table after storming to an emphatic 3-0 win over relegation-threatened ABS. Bielsa United produced some brilliant football artistry as they demolished Aqua United 4-1 to close the gap on leaders Kano Pillars. Warri Wolves missed an opportunity to put pressure on Kano Pillars and Bielsa United after a disappointing barren draw with Enyimba. In the other games, Kwara United beat Rangers 1-0. Dolphins lost 1-2 to city rivals Sharks. Gombe United shocked Heartland 1-0. Kaduna United defeated Nasarawa United 1-0. And Wicked Tourists downed Shooting Stars 2-1, while Lobby Stars edged past Sunshine Stars 1-0. And that's it on Sports News. It's back to Joma.
Beer with many imitators, but certainly no equal. Enjoy the power of more. Drink responsibly.
Well, thank you, Charles. Now, we return to our lead story on Egypt, where events took a violent turn today, leaving hundreds dead. Following these bloody clashes, a state of emergency has been declared in the country, leaving Egyptians to face a month of restricted movement and activities. Our Foreign Affairs correspondent Amarachi Ubani tells us more.
It was a bloody day in Egypt today as defiant supporters of deposed President Mohamed Morsi burned tires after police swiftly cleared out their protest camp in Al Nada near Cairo University this morning. Army vehicles and soldiers had blocked the entrance of the camp where supporters had been staging a sit-in for the last 6 weeks, calling for Mr. Morsi's reinstatement. Residents of the area stood in their balconies and watched as tear gas filled the air and a helicopter was seen hovering over the scene. There are conflicting reports on the number of people who died today, while the government, which declared a nationwide state of emergency, said 235 civilians and 43 policemen were killed. The Muslim Brotherhood, which backed the protest, says more than 2,000 people died in the violence. Police have now taken control of the camps in the capital and are reported to have arrested key Brotherhood leaders. Meanwhile, Egypt's interim president Hassem Beblawi has defended the deadly operation to break up protest camps in Cairo, saying the authorities had to restore security. The operation, which began at around 7 a.m., came after international efforts failed to mediate an end to a 6-week political standoff between Morsi's supporters and the army-backed government which took power after his ouster on July the 3rd. Amarachi Ubani, Channels Television News.
Well, thank you, Amarachi. And the main news again. There have been conflicting casualty figures as reports say about 150 Egyptians were killed in bloody clashes after security forces invaded camps to clear out pro-Morsi protesters. As a result, a state of emergency has been declared in Egypt, which is to last for a month. And following today's violent protests in Egypt, its interim Vice President Mohammed El Baradei has resigned. Mr. El Baradei has been the most influential voice for a peaceful resolution in the standoff between Morsi supporters and the new interim government. His departure has been described as a blow to the country's international reputation and a sign that hardliners within the government have emerged more powerful than liberals. Mr. El Baradei said he could not bear responsibility for the bloodshed. And back here in Nigeria, the military says that it's winning the war against insurgents in the northeast. Well, that's the news at 10 tonight. Thanks a lot for staying with us. I'm Ijeoma Onyato. Do have a good night.